Hey guys, I am back again for day 2 of how to gain self-confidence in 30 days. We are on day 2. Day 1, just a little review. Day 1 was about what do you like? Finding out what do you like about yourself, what do you like about your environment, what do you like about your life period. What do you like? What do you like to do? All those things. That was day 1 was about. Day 1 was also about that self-confidence is very important for anyone to achieve anything in life. You have to have confidence in yourself. You have to be able to believe in yourself that you can complete the goals and the things that you are looking to complete. So that was day 1. So if you haven't watched the video for day 1, go back and watch it. Okay. And then, so day 2, today is day 2, and we're going to talk about what don't you like. So, in finding out who you are and just who you want to be, you need to know what you don't like. If you don't like something, you want to know why also. Why don't you like this? And it could be for reasons unknown. It could be for reasons of something that happened in the past. Because what we like and what we don't like, our past experiences has also put effect on that. So some things you don't like because of something that happened in the past, but and it created more of a fear around it, so you don't like it. But if you find out what you don't like and the reason why, say I don't like this because it is, then you can go into detail and see, is it because of a fear, or is it because of someone else didn't like it, or is it really something that it does not feel well within my soul, within my inner being? And if that's the case, then of course, make sure you take knowledge of that. So to me, you can't really tell someone what you like until you know what you don't like. And then vice versa, you can't really say what you don't like until you know what you do like. It goes hand in hand. So just ask yourself simple questions. Do I like being with this person? Do I like being around this person? Do I like being with myself? That's the most important thing. People don't think about, if they like being with themselves or not. Some people don't even like being with themselves. And how can you be with someone else if you don't like being with yourself? So you just got to sit and ask yourself these questions. What don't I like? And why? Why don't I like these things? Is there a valid reason, or is it just because it was something that was just drilled in me? It was just something that I just picked up along the way, You really want to ask yourself real questions. In order to gain self-confidence, you have to be real first with self. That is the most important thing you can ever do, is be real with yourself. I don't care who you tell a lie, what lies you ain't told, whatever. You should always be real with yourself, because yourself is what's going to change your entire reality of what you see in life. So you have to be in tune, and you have to be real with self. And so just start asking questions, just like we did yesterday with the likes. What don't I like? And start naming off stuff, thinking about it. I don't like people to invade my space. Why? Because I am so in tune with energy that invading my space, hi Danielle, that invading my space just brings me too close to your energy. And I don't always care to be in tune with everybody's energy, So you want to ask yourself real questions. I don't like being around this person. Why? It's people I didn't like being around because they just had like this bad feeling about them. So I didn't like being around them. Some people you can tell they were just nasty people, and you don't want to be around that. I don't like for people to smack. Now, I know that for sure, but I know that I got that from my mom because we weren't allowed to smack as kids. So it's something that's a pet peeve to me now. It's simple things. People think you got to go all, and sometimes, finding self-confidence is deep. You got to go deep. That's just going to be what it is. But, sometimes it's just simple questions. You know, I don't like sushi. Now that's a lie. I love sushi. But somebody might say I don't like sushi. Why? Because they don't like raw fish, or, whatever. And it's just simple questions you ask yourself, and asking yourself simple questions, you begin to get a understanding of where you're trying to go, what you're fishing for. Your mind is always trying and searching to give you an answer. So if you present yourself with a question, your mind is going to work and work and work and work to find an answer. If you really want an answer to that question, your brain is set up that way. We are set up for success. So if you ask yourself the right questions, even if you don't know the answer at that current time, ask yourself the questions, and your brain, your subconscious will begin to search and look for an answer to give you. And in doing that, you begin to learn yourself. You begin to understand yourself. You begin to get in tune with who you are and who you want to be and where you're going. And that's how your self-confidence build. As you begin to gain more successes, as you begin to really put in a little work to understand who you are, you begin to gain more and more self-confidence, because self-confidence comes from you trying and attempting to do what is necessary for your life to be happy, right? So as you create those successes, your brain remembers it, your mind remembers it, and they say, okay, oh yeah, we can do this. Yeah, I can do that. I've done this. I've done this. Don't look at things that's a lie. A lot of people think that you have to look at, I was told this my whole life, and so that's what it is. That's not necessarily the case. And it does affect your self-esteem, because your mind and your body knows that is not the case, that you can do anything you set your mind to, but you have to know who you are. So that comes from knowing what you like, what you don't like, and trusting in those choices and decisions you made. And sometimes it takes a step of going back and saying, well, maybe I need to revisit this. Maybe it's not a don't like. Maybe it's just not my tempo. But not necessarily you don't like it. It's just not your tempo, And you really want to look at all of that. Like I said, be true to yourself. Be true to yourself when you do your like questions. Be true to yourself when you do your don't like questions. Because nowadays, everybody's looking for a soulmate. Everyone, oh, I want a soulmate, la, la, la. I've been married for 13 years. 13 years. Not easy. You have kids, you have life, you have family, you have self that you're trying to understand and interact with. And like I said yesterday, because I did deal with low self-esteem, I was not able to be the woman, the wife, the mother that I wanted to be. And it really does impact your life. You think, oh, this is going to make me happy. That's going to make me happy. And I came to finally realize that what is going to make me happy is figuring out who I am. I got married at 20. And over the years, I have learned new things. I have added new roles to my life. I became a mother, and I, became a stepmother, and I became all these things. I added these new roles to my life without knowing who I was from the start, without having that self-love, that self-confidence, that self-trust from the start. So it's important to go through these questions. And each day I'm going to give you different questions that I want you to really, really ask yourself and try to understand for yourself, because it's going to be awesome for people to really understand. Hi, Gwen. You have such an awesome energy. I am so glad to see you. I hope all is well with you. So it's really just important for people to understand themselves and to get in tune with who they are. And if I can help anyone do that, I would really love to. Like, my confidence has skyrocketed when I started to learn who I was, what I can do. And not just as a mother, not just as the wife, but as me, as Nikki, as who I am as a woman, as a person, as an individual. And that's very important. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did yesterday. I'm going to leave questions after this video in a little post on my page. So you can ask yourself simple questions, and it's just questions to get you started. If you think of deeper questions, if you think of different questions, ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself any question to help you better understand yourself. That's the whole key, to better understand yourself. And once you do that, it's like the flood waters just open up. So do that and keep coming back. We're going to be doing, there's to me 4 pillars of gaining self-confidence that's going to be covered over these next 30 days, which is learn yourself. Kids yelling in the background, of course. Learn yourself, know yourself, trust yourself, and I got that backwards. Love yourself, trust yourself. So to me, it's definitely 4 pillars. You have to learn yourself so that you may know yourself, and you can't know something that you haven't learned about. So thank you. You can't learn yourself, learn something. I got my tongue twisted, y'all. You can't know something until you learned it. So the first part is learning yourself. Then you want to know yourself. After you learned the things you like, what you don't like, learned what you really want, who you really want to be, who do you see yourself as, then it's time to know yourself. Get to know yourself, date yourself, learn yourself, trust yourself. And then you go from knowing to love. Once you know something, once you really get to know somebody, you start to love them for who they are. And that's what you want to do with yourself. Once you get to start knowing yourself, I want to love myself. I know this person so well. I'm just falling in love with her every day. That's where you want to be. And then you want to get from loving yourself to trusting yourself. You can't trust something that you don't love, because trust is so bound with love. You trust someone because you love them. You love their spirit. You love their energy. You love their mind. And the trust grows from that love, So you want to learn yourself, know yourself, love yourself, and trust yourself. Very important. Hey, Stephanie. So with that being said, guys, I'm not going to hold you too long. I am going to let you get to work on those questions. What don't you like? Think hard and really take the time to think. You don't have to be quick to write something down, but don't forget to take action. Think and act. They go hand in hand. So I am so blessed to be able to talk with you guys, to be able to share my journey, because self-confidence has been a battle for me for years. And I feel like within, I'll say the last 3 years for sure, I feel like I have really gained a true understanding of what self-confidence really is. In my eyes, self-confidence is those 4 pillars. Like I said, learning yourself, loving yourself, knowing yourself, and trusting yourself is super important. Super important. So get going. Peace and blessings to you. May your family be blessed. I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Bless.